I was about to hit you with a rich piano, good effing morning. But sometimes I get some comments where people are, it's like, man, why all the swearing? I couldn't tell you exactly. I feel like I don't swear that much when I talk normally. Something about the one-on-one gym convo setup in the car, I don't know. It brings it out of me. I try to work on it. You know, I'm hitting some fricks every now and again. But plan for this morning is to completely thrash. Wreck. You get the gist. Totally kill chest. How am I thinking about doing that? I'll see once I get in there and start warming up. But I do have a little bit of a plan, because for a while my chest days looked as such. It would be 1 or 2 sets of incline dumbbell bench, followed by 2 sets of incline barbell bench, followed by like 2 or 3 sets of some kind of chest press, followed by flies. So it would be like unstable press, stable press, slightly more stable press, followed by cable flies as a finisher. So I don't know if I want to do that exactly, but we'll just kind of have to see. If I really wanted to, I guess I'll kind of decide on my way there. If I want to do heavy dumbbell bench, I got to go to my gym. But I wanted to go to a different one so that there'd be people around and I can kind of feed off the energy. Well, I'll keep it in mind. Before I even go in to actually start the lift, I don't have it written off as a checklist on a piece of paper, like in an app or anything, of what the training is going to be that day. I wait until I get in, warm up, get my shoulders, my rotator cuffs, and just really get a feel for how does the weight feel today. Like when I'm on the cable machine, it really tells me a lot just from doing light tricep pushdowns, rotator cuff activators, side delt raises, front delt raises, cross body, single arm cable presses, some rows, like just playing. I don't want to say playing around, but just moving around with the cables, getting everything in this upper body section loose and warm. I'd never jump straight onto a bench. It depends on the movement, because for back, if I'm warming up on a, let's say it's a row machine, typically your back is pretty strong. It's not really the most compromising kind of movement. So I'll just warm up with whatever that first movement is. So, seated rows, all right, do 100 pounds. Then do a few with 120 and 160 and 200 and 2 something. Like ease into it that way. But I do not treat chest the same, chest or legs, when it comes to quads. So before any chest press, like maybe I'm going to start with the incline bench, I'm not just going to pop a squat, do a few reps with a plate, rack it, do a few reps with 2 plates, rack it. Like, even though that is the movement, I really don't feel like that's enough to actually get your shoulders warm. And I've had crunchy rotator cuffs before. It's not like I just magically have totally bulletproof shoulders, but ever since I started warming up my rotator cuff, my shoulder, my back, my chest, just before the first working pressing set, and keeping my elbows a little bit more tucked, I haven't had a shoulder kind of, let's just say, impingement for quite a while. Like, I can't even remember the last time I had crunchy reps on incline bench or anything else like that. At least not the day. But I do remember the feeling, and I remember it sucks. So if you've got there's an older dude at your gym where he's always hitting you with that, back before I hurt my shoulder, I was repping 4 plates. Hey, maybe don't put it past him. But it's definitely not good to be in that situation. So if you can prevent it, even though it doesn't necessarily look very cool, that's a non-negligible angle. Like, people don't want to come into the gym and not look cool. I think that's why arms is probably a top favorite. Like, people would say arms is an S tier workout, chest is an S tier workout, shoulders, they're probably up there just in terms of like the aesthetic of doing it, because it looks kind of cool. Grabbing the 10-pound dumbbell off the rack and doing 10 reps of rotator cuff activations, that doesn't really do a lot for you. It's not the coolest looking thing. But the feeling that I get from it, or I guess the lack of feeling of uncomfortability of like having a wrecked shoulder, more than freaking worth it. So there was when Eric Bugenhagen came over to the gym, he had us doing this one kind of like shoulder rotating kind of warm up where we're grabbing like 20-pound dumbbells and just hitting them in circles, going the other way. That really got my shoulders warmed up. So now every time I, pre-chest, sometimes I'll throw those in just because I know it gets this whole joint activated and prepped so that, let's say it's a really crazy heavy day, there might be 4 plates on the table, usually more like 3, but you never know. That kind of gives me a little bit of cushion, and I don't want to feel worried about any kind of tweak. The only thing I want to worry about is how many reps can I get. So if I'm constantly like, ooh, I don't know, is my shoulder gonna be able to handle it? That sucks. Absolute worst feeling you can freaking get, at least close to it. But I assume it's not gonna be too busy, so why don't we just get in there and freaking tear it up? All right, 12 would be crazy. 12 would be crazy. See what happens. Crazy. Okay. Nice. Oh my goodness. Just caught there and drop at 25. Sweet. Yeah. 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 Oh man. Thank you. Let's hit a heavy pec deck set or two. I'm gonna pick a new movement. Okay, let's grab a press. All right, this will be a squeezing, burning set. I might go heavier for the next one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Actually, let's pick something else. That was a good set, but I don't feel like I want to do another one. The hundreds should be about right. 2 plates of bench, or 2 sets of bench, 2 sets of machine press, 2 sets of pec deck. Yeah, these should feel like the 150s. Ooh. Oh my God. Let's just do some alternating press. Someone, when warming up, snapped this cable. No idea who. No idea who. But I know it happened today. Okay. All right. Done. What the heck was that sound? Well, either way, badass lift, pumped, and those dumbbell bench reps actually better than expected. So I think part of the reason was the fact that I was already pre-exhausted. I mean, ton of incline chest, or upper chest, not incline chest. But let's see how we're looking. So 365 for 9. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that at only being like, yeah, slightly below maintenance fullness of carbs. Dude, that's cool with me. If I can keep that up as like a 10 rep working set kind of strength, well, I am in for quite the treat when it comes to some of these lifts. But let's see how we're looking. Oh my gosh. Yeah. that lightheaded feeling after most muscular, that's solid. Just don't push it too far, or else you'll just make yourself freaking pass out. It has happened and will continue to happen. So maybe next time you're really flexing, you might need a freaking spotter. But really good chest day. I am not done. I'm gonna go back up, get my 30 minutes on the bike, plus 30 minutes of scrolling complete. Then I'll see you back in the car. All right. Yeah, that was a little something. That was certainly a little something. I ended up doing 45 minutes instead of 30, because by the time I got to 30, didn't really feel like I was totally empty in the tank. A little extra cardio really does not hurt. That's one piece of bro sciencey propaganda which I really do think has had a negative impact on the fitness world, and that is the logic that cardio kills gains. I don't know. I just don't understand it. I mean, I understand the logic behind why that statement gets perpetuated. An explanation as to why cardio is bad and why you shouldn't do it. Hell yeah, right? I mean, it's just no freaking good, because I mean, I'm reaping the benefits, bulk, cut, everything in between. You know, I'm talking increased base metabolism, because just throughout the day you're doing more stuff. So the more active you are and the more energy expenditure that you have, the more food you're going to be able to actually digest and, you know, utilize for energy rather than just store as body fat. So if I'm bulking and I'm really starting to leverage food, I'm not going to get so soft, at least not so soft so soon. And if I'm dieting down, well, it's just easier to get leaner, you know. Now, I'm not saying you have to do hours of cardio per day. I was doing 2 per day for about a month and a half in my last prep. That was a little much. I don't know. I still wanted to do it though, because doing it just makes me feel cool. You know, it's like somebody who wakes up at 5 because they like being awake and starting their day while everybody else is sleeping. It's kind of just that feeling, because the whole balance when it comes to dieting is just increasing this gap, right? So that's the gap of the bottom hand being how much food you're eating, right? How much energy you're giving yourself, and then how much energy you're burning throughout the day. So as long as there's this semi-substantial gap, you're going to get leaner. You're going to burn more energy than the food that you're eating can provide you. So you're going to kind of you're going to have to rely on your reserve power. So that's your body fat. Now, if I eat a zillion calories in a day, like let's say later today, I go home and I don't know, I stop at the store and I get 2 pints of Ben & Jerry's, 5-pound bag of gummy worms, Cane's, what else? And even throw some crumble on there. Take a tip from the Trend Twins, grab some crumble. I'm not going to burn any body fat tonight, not even a little, because then I will have had so many calories and so much energy to actually kind of, you know, digest and deal with and put places. You know, there'd just be no need, right? It's like you've got, I mean, go back to when you were a kid. Your body fat is the game Sorry, or you know, a pile of board games. You got Monopoly, whatever, and regular carbs and sugar and treats. That's like having a Wii U. There's no chance you're going to grab Monopoly if you've got the opportunity to take a Wii U out for a spin and you jump on a Super Mario Bros. 4 or 3 or whatever, you know. So that's what kind of gets eaten at first. So whether you get that logic or not, just whatever. Oh man, I think I'm going to end up taking a nap when I lay outside in the sun later today. But morning weight unknown, because I moved the scale in my bathroom and then I forgot where I put it. But somewhere in the mid to lower 240s-ish. By the time that my morning weight is a consistent 236, which really shouldn't take that much longer, probably just a couple of weeks, I'll be walking around like a freak. I've already still got some quad veins just returning on a regular walking around kind of way, but I want to see how long it takes to get back to like just, quads looking like they're pumped at all times. There's a really cool effect you'll get if you ever get lean enough where, and this is, I don't even think totally relative to size. Like even if you're only 170, if you were a peeled 170, you'd still get this sort of feeling, or this sort of look, where if you finish cardio and you're really sweating and bringing it, let's say you do 30 minutes bike, 10 minutes Stairmaster, 30 minutes bike, some treadmill, little things like that, then you end up just getting a complete, I don't even want to say pump, but more like vascularity boost in your lower body. Like I had it really crazy in my first prep, because what I would do is I would bundle up super heavy for my morning cardio. I'm talking 2 pairs of sweatpants, a long sleeve shirt, and a hoodie on top, and I got it zipped up with the hood on. I don't know why. I think in my head I thought that the more I was sweating, the more effective it would be. It was just it's just how I wanted to hit it. But as soon as I would actually look at my legs and do kind of a post-cardio sort of pump check, I mean, they were just as vascular as I've ever seen them. So actually that makes me think maybe I'm going to start doing that again. Not yet, but soon-ish. One thing I'm kind of, I don't know, I have noticed. Now, I haven't done this for a while, like this is a couple years ago, but whenever I would diet, I'd get into a good groove of, workout whenever, noon, 9, 6, but right in the morning would be instant wake up. Maybe I'll sleep in the clothes that I was going to do cardio in the next morning, or just have them ready next to me, and then have 200 milligrams of caffeine worth of something and about 1.5 liters of water right next to my bed. So that could be, maybe some kind of electrolyte mix, and I'd put like a 3D energy. Only now is it 3D. Back then it was probably, I don't know, whatever. But mix it up into a big, really I just have a gallon jug that I'd prep, flatten the whole thing so that I could slam it in the morning. So instantly 200 milligrams of caffeine plus a substantial amount of fluids, and then I would jump right onto the cardio bike before I even really had a chance to be like fully awake. So 30 minutes followed by either an ice bath or just a cold shower. I think the ice bath is the way to do it, because here's my logic. When it comes to that energy expenditure angle, right, in the morning, fasted cardio, I don't think there's a huge difference, but you're definitely not running off of, any food in the morning. You're only running off of what's already in your system. Plus, it's just kind of easy. You start your day off nice. It's like the logic of the military guy saying, make your bed in the morning. If I hit my 30 minutes, like as soon as I wake up, instant W. So it's kind of more of a mental thing, I think, than anything, and just getting into a good schedule kind of groove. But 30 minutes and then an instant cold exposure, either the bath or the shower. But cold showers are hard, and ice baths are really freaking hard. But when I'm dieting, if I'm not actually trying to grow muscle, then I don't mind the kind of, let's just say, stress spike that the cold exposure gives you. Like, I would never recommend you take a cold shower immediately after a workout if you're trying to grow, just because post-workout you kind of want your blood flow as optimized as possible. And when you jump into a cold shower, all your veins are going to constrict, your skin gets tight. Like, it's, I mean, just in terms of something you can do to yourself, it is kind of stressful. Not only mentally, but I'm saying like physically. It kind of gives you that like, lightness of breath response. But one thing I noticed back when I would do those, and when I got in the groove, I mean, I'm talking 60, 55-ish degree water, 15 minutes, or just a straight cold shower. I mean, that's hard enough for usually 5. What I would do is I'd either set a timer, or I'd pick 2 songs in a row and cue them, and I'd, listen to them on a loop, or on, back to back, so it would add up to that 5 minutes. And it would really clear up my skin pretty well. Something about the cold exposure and like the, I don't know exactly, but it really cleared me up. And that's one of my goals right now. As soon as I started eating a bunch of junk food after the show, because you know I'm bulking. I got room for a couple treats. I kind of been restricting myself for the last few months, but instantly, I mean, the extra fats from like some Reese's cups and just junk, whatever, like it hits me hard. When I eat really clean, my skin really reflects it, so I want to kind of work on that. That's always been something that kind of, just kind of sucks, you know. But what are you gonna do? But we'll see. So I think I might get into a morning super early groove, hit a cold shower and or an ice bath. Well, or an ice bath, and then see if I can handle it. Plus, it's kind of this this test of your own mental toughness, right? Like honestly, I mean, anybody can come into the gym and hit a hard workout. The gym is more of a consistency game, but you know, I really do dare you. Next morning or tomorrow morning, not tonight. I wouldn't do it before bed. I feel like it'll kind of throw off your REM. But tomorrow, when you wake up, I'm talking crank the freaking shower to as cold as it goes, and then try to take a legit 5-minute. And I'm not talking like just have the water hit your legs. I'm saying head, back, chest, really get cooled off. It's freaking hard. I'll try it. I think now that I'm saying it, I'm kind of getting myself amped up to hit it. So I think I'll do that tomorrow morning. I guess I'll update you if I wussed out and skipped it. But but when it comes to body fat loss and getting leaner, in my head, what I'm thinking is that's just one extra little bonus to a morning cardio routine, because 30 minutes of cardio, burning energy, caffeinated is going to be, I mean, any stimulant kind of adds a little bit of just thermogenic, like fat burning effect. It's not magic, but I mean, it's marginal. I don't know, you know, look it up. So caffeine, solid, and then by cooling myself down in the cold shower, my logic is I'm burning at least a little bit more energy to warm myself back up. You know, I mean, your body's always pumping out heat, but if it has to pump out a little extra to bring you back to a baseline, I mean, hell, that's more calories. That's more energy expenditure. Plus, you kind of just feel good. I mean, when you get out of a cold shower and you look at yourself in the mirror, you will be 2 to 3% body fat leaner visually. Now, you won't really be 2 to 3% leaner, but that just like skin tightening effect of being like, you know, freaking freezing cold, it does make you look just like a little bit more vacuum sealed than normal. So if any of you guys actually do that, I mean, when I post the video tomorrow, I'll say if I did it or not. I'd love to hear your experience. And if you've never done it, well, just listen to some freaking DMX or something, get yourself going crazy. But I'm gonna go eat something, play with the cats, lay out in the sun. It's a good day. Today is a really good freaking day. So I'll see you tomorrow.